So I've had friends who said, hey, guys have stuff to help them with their sexual stuff. How come we don't have anything? And it turns out somebody says they do. It's FM News and Talk 95.7 and AM 600 KOGO. We are joined by Dr. Samuel Wood here on FM News and Talk 95.7 AM 600 KOGO. Hello, Doc.
Hi, good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. I am going to dance around this a little because, wow, is it intense. But you've actually come up with a procedure that's supposed to improve the quality of a woman's sexual response, yes?
Yeah, well, it's about time, isn't it? Look at all the things men have to help them. They've got blue pills and yellow pills and green pills, and you may have seen the Viagra laced condoms. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Really?
Women need, yes, exactly.
Wow.
And what do women have? Basically nothing. Sometimes testosterone will work, but there's really very little to help a woman who is premenopausal and has a sexual dysfunction. And in this country, there are about 50 million such women.
Wow.
So we're really excited. It's early days. We still need to finish our research, but we're very excited about it.
Now, how did you start your research? I mean, where do you start with, somebody's sexual response? I'm baffled.
Well, I have a co-inventor, Charles Reynolds. He's a physician in Alabama, and he was treating a patient who was long divorced, was in a bad relationship, pain with intercourse, no orgasms, did not feel good about herself. And so she had this shot that we'll discuss here in a few minutes. And what it did was change her life. Once she was orgasmic, once she felt good about herself sexually, romantically, she dumped the loser and found a wonderful guy. And they got married 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is the sort of thing that actually changes people's lives.
And are you guys still in you were mentioning that you're still kind of in the research part of this?
Well, I'm a physician. I'm also a serious scientist. And so we've been doing it for a year. We've taken care of many women during that time. But we're now doing a formal, highly controlled study because we want to know for sure whether this works, how it works, who it works for, all those kinds of things. But the data so far has been really remarkable.
And have you? Is this something that you would have to go through the FDA to be able to market, et cetera?
No, it's just a medical procedure. So any physician who is trained could do it. We've learned that how you do it really matters, and kind of perfected it over the last year so that we know exactly where to do these injections. And when you do it right, the results are pretty astonishing. Let me just tell you about a text message I got today. This was a female physician who flew in from out of state over the weekend to have the shot. And in a text message, she says, kicked in 12 hours after the injection. Feel like an 18-year-old boy.
Uh-oh.
This is going to change the world. I thought it was going to be good, but I had no idea it would be this good. So this was a physician who was, frankly, a little skeptical because nothing else really has worked for women with a sexual dysfunction to date.
What is it that this shot is made of, and what is the mechanism by which it works? Or do you guys are you that far along in the research yet?
Yeah, I think we do understand why it would work. What it involves doing is taking growth factors from a woman's own blood and then injecting them into an area around the clitoris, in an area in the top of the vagina, the area that's most important for a normal sexual response.
Can I just say, ouch? That sounds very ouchy.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's the number one concern that women have, and of course that's perfectly understandable. However, these areas are thoroughly anesthetized first with a local anesthetic cream, and the women who've had these, without any exception, have told me that the blood draw to get the blood actually was more uncomfortable than actually having the O shot. So discomfort is really a very minor part of this, and the entire procedure takes no more than a minute, and the area of the clitoris only takes 10 seconds or so. So discomfort really has not turned out to be a major problem.
And how long does this last?
Well, we don't know. The original patient was over a year ago, and then we've had several now that have been many months, 6, 9, 10, in that kind of range. So we're hopeful that it's going to last for quite a long time, because the way this works is those areas respond to the growth factors. And what they do is they grow new blood vessels. So there's more blood flow to the area, and there's more collagen. So the area is thicker. There's more lubrication. So these are things that may well be long-term, because it's not something that wears off like Botox or filler in the face. Rather, it's something that changes what's going on down there in a positive way. It rejuvenates those areas.
How long now do you when you're taking the blood out? Because I'm assuming you say you're getting platelet-derived growth factors. Is this something that you just separate from the blood, or do you have to grow this in a medium, or how does that work?
No, it's actually very, very simple. We use a 910 cc tube of blood, so it's just like a standard blood draw. You put it in a centrifuge, and you isolate the liquid part of the blood and the part of the blood that has platelets in them. Then you mix those two up, so you have the liquid part with platelets in it, and then when you add an extra chemical, then it activates the platelets, and the platelets release these growth factors. This is exactly what your body does when it's trying to heal a wound, when it's trying to heal an injury. It sends platelets to the area, they release their growth factors, and then they do their thing. So what we're really doing here is using the body's own healing mechanisms to help with this.
Well, it sounds extraordinary, and it sounds like a step forward, since men do have all kinds of pills and stuff that they can use. And Dr. Wood, what we've done is we put a link to your website on our website at kogo.com, so if somebody wants more information, they can find it.
That sounds wonderful. Now, the best website to get more information about this specifically is oshot.info. So I hope that's the one that's on there.
Check in with Slash, and he says, yeah. All right, so we got it. All right, Dr. Wood, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, have a great day. He handled that well for somebody who was as uncomfortable as I was in that conversation, I think. FM News and Talk 95.7 and AM 600 Kogo.